Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive headache that absolutely anyone who owns or is even just thinking about buying an electric vehicle is talking about right now: the hidden costs of EV maintenance. Seriously, if you've ever looked at your electric car's mechanic bill and thought, wait a minute, why does this look exactly like the bill for my old gas guzzler? Well, you're definitely not alone. We're going to lift the hood, so to speak, to figure out exactly what happens when you hand over your keys and what's really going down inside these repair shops.
Okay, let's dive straight in. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. Il paradosso elettrico. 2. La realtà dei prezzi. 3. Incompetenza e casi reali. 4. Le radici del problema. And finally, number 5. Come difendersi in officina.
Section 1. Il paradosso elettrico.
In theory, making the jump to an EV sounds like a total financial cheat code, doesn't it? The official data literally tells us we should expect a 42% drop in maintenance costs and 70% fewer wear and tear components compared to a traditional gas or diesel car. I mean, think about it. No more oil changes, no timing belt snapping, no spark plugs to swap out. But when we actually hit the reality of the dealership, the script completely flips. For way too many drivers, those theoretical savings suddenly turn into aggressively inflated invoices and random, unexpected fees that seem to just appear out of thin air. If you've had that sinking feeling that something just wasn't adding up at the service center, the data absolutely proves you're right.
And this perfectly illustrates why the whole situation is just so deeply frustrating right now. On one side, you have the traditional internal combustion engine. It's an incredibly complex machine, right? Over 24 moving parts that actively need inspection, lubrication, and eventual replacement as they wear down over thousands of miles. But on the flip side, your electric vehicle basically has 6 main components. The motor is practically sealed, the battery just sits there, and the entire drivetrain is radically simplified. So, this massive drop in mechanical complexity makes the current price list at traditional dealerships absolutely illogical. They're literally charging you for complexity that just doesn't exist under the hood anymore.
Sezione 2. La realtà dei prezzi.
Now, here's where the paradox gets really fascinating, especially when we look at city cars. Take the Smart for 2. According to the manufacturer's official portal, a standard maintenance check should cost you around 50 euros. But walk into a dealership, they're regularly asking for 90 to 140 euros. The Fiat 500e gets hit with a similarly punishing markup. But then, you look at a premium, high-end vehicle like the Tesla Model S, and the official online price and the actual shop price often match up perfectly, right around 525 euros. So, the glaring paradox here is that maintaining a tiny, supposedly super economical electric city car can actually expose you to much worse percentage markups than taking in a luxury vehicle.
And that brings us to this staggering number, a 140% markup. We aren't talking about small change here. We're seeing average discrepancies that can easily blow past a 140% increase between the totally transparent prices listed on official portals and the physical quote handed to you by the guy at the service desk. This isn't just one rogue mechanic trying to hit a monthly quota. This is a massive systemic issue baked right into the traditional service network from the ground up.
And you know what? The EV community is totally onto them. This comment we pulled from a popular motoring forum really hits the nail on the head. Traditional dealers are using EV maintenance as an ATM to compensate for the inefficiency of their sales structure. That's a real collective awakening happening right now. Drivers are officially done blindly accepting these padded bills. They're connecting the dots and realizing they are essentially subsidizing a dinosaur business model that just hasn't adapted to the electric era.
So how exactly are they inflating these numbers? Well, they're getting incredibly creative, and honestly, it's a bit insulting. You've got the classic golden filter trick. A basic $15 cabin air filter you could easily buy online, suddenly billed at $70 because it's quote-unquote specialized EV maintenance. Or how about charging double for a simple tire rotation because, the batteries make the car heavy? And my personal favorite, getting charged $40 for a battery state of health test. A test that literally takes 30 seconds of plugging a cable into a port. Oh, and don't forget those default interior sanitization fees they just quietly tack onto the bottom line without ever asking you.
Sezione 3. Incompetenza e casi reali.
The level of disorientation inside some of these workshops is just wild. We are literally seeing vehicles essentially bricked, just sitting on dealer lots for weeks on end, simply because the mechanics have no idea how to force a stuck over-the-air software update. We are trapped in a massive digital gap right now. The old-school, greasy hands mechanical skills just aren't cutting it for the sophisticated computers on wheels we drive today. Service centers are desperately trying to catch up, but in the meantime, they're basically holding customers' cars hostage.
The stories pouring in from the EV community honestly border on the absurd. Get this, we have documented cases of dealers enthusiastically trying to sell prepaid oil change packages to owners of fully electric vehicles. Literally, no engine oil to change, but they're selling the package. Or mechanics misdiagnosing a totally normal functional heat pump noise as a catastrophic mechanical failure that's going to cost thousands to fix. Over in the US, we saw outright tax credit scams with the Chevy Bolt. And in Europe, you've got shops messing around with high-voltage electrical systems without the legally required PS-PAVE safety certifications. Honestly, right now, if you're a passionate EV owner who reads a few forum posts, there is a very good chance you know more about your car than the certified mechanic standing in front of you.
Section 4. Le radici del problema.
So what's really driving this? The crucial point is that dealerships are facing a terrifying existential crisis. They make way less profit on selling an EV in the first place, and they've completely lost their ultimate cash cow, the constant, predictable, required maintenance of gas engines. To survive, they are actively dumping their lost margins and the massive costs of retraining their entire staff straight onto you, the consumer. Combine that panic with a tight monopoly on the authorized dealer network, plus clients who are just used to blindly paying $400 for a diesel service, and boom, you've got a perfect storm. In that environment, they know they can ask for $150 to change a simple air filter, and most people won't even blink.
Sezione 5. Come difendersi in officina.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk solutions. How do you actually defend yourself? First step, absolutely always use the manufacturer's online configurator or third-party portals to check the real baseline price before you ever step foot in the shop. Second, legally, you have the absolute right to a detailed written quote before a single wrench is turned. Demand it. Do not skip this. And third, and this is a real game changer, sweeping consumer protection laws mean you can take your car to qualified independent shops without voiding your official warranty. You are absolutely not a hostage to the dealership's pricing games.
Which brings us to a really important question for everyone tuning in today. Beyond just protecting your own wallet, what can you actually do to help dismantle this wild west of pricing? Well, your absolute best shield is already in your pocket. A simple smartphone screenshot. Take a picture of the official maintenance price from the brand's portal before your appointment. The second the service advisor hands you an inflated quote, show them the screenshot. Demand total transparency on every single line item before you sign anything. And seriously, talk to other drivers. Share those padded invoices on forums and actively report these systemic issues to consumer protection agencies. Because at the end of the day, collective action and aggregate data are the only things that will force this stubborn industry to actually change.
We'll close with this perfect quote straight from our sources. The future is electric, but the present still needs transparency. The technological innovation is already here. It's sitting right in our driveways. But these outdated service models desperately need a reality check. They have to stop making early adopters pay out of pocket for the massive inefficiencies of a dying legacy system.
Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this gives you the tools and the confidence you need to defend yourself and keep your hard-earned money in your pocket at the repair shop. If you found this useful, please send it to your friends, your family, or anyone you know who owns or is thinking about buying an EV. Accurate information really is our best weapon here. Stay curious, always be a conscious consumer, and I will see you next time.